Welcome back, fellow coders. Jared O'Leary here with BootUp. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remix the Wind River Sprites remix project. So that way you can use some of these sprites inside of your own project. So the first thing you need to do is sign into your account. Okay, so now I'm signed into my old account, and it now has popped up a remix button right here. And if you're inside of your project, then you will see the button right here. All right, so this makes it so that you can now remix the project and save it. So if I press this button, it's now saving my own copy of this, so I can change this however I want and use these sprites. So inside of this project are a bunch of costumes. We've got a ton of different artwork submitted by different community members from the Wind River Reservation. So there's a lot of really cool costumes in here that you can check out. There's also some photos that were submitted by some of the members of the community. And then we even have some sprites from the Wind River Virtual Museum, which you can find a link to in the description. Okay, so there's a lot of really cool things in here. Now, what I want to show you is how to actually use these projects. So now that we have the different sprites in here, we can actually go in and be like, okay, I actually don't want to use these sprites, so I'm going to delete them. I'm just going to make a virtual museum using some of the sprites from the Wind River Virtual Museum. Okay, so that's an option for you, is now you can just start building your project right away. But if you've already got a project that you've started working on and you want to bring some of these sprites over into there, there's a way that you can do that. All right, so let's say you're working on your project already and you realize like midway through working on it that you're like, I really need to have some of those sprites from the Wind River Sprites remix project. Okay, so the way that you can actually bring these over into your other project is you can go and open up your backpack as long as you are signed in. Right now, my backpack is empty, and you can drag in these sprites, and then this saves it into your backpack. Now, by the way, this also saves in any code that was inside of here, and you can even drag in different algorithms, and it'll save those in there. Okay, cool. So I did that thing. Now what do I do with it? So now I go back into my other project. In this case, it's a new project for me, and you can actually open up your backpack and then bring this into your project. So now I'm going to save these sprites in here, and notice how it brought in the code with it. But again, if I wanted to, I could also be like, I want to add in some code, and it brings it into my project. Okay, so that's two options for how you can use the Wind River Sprites Remix project. So the first one is going into it and simply clicking the Remix button and starting your project from there. And then the second option, if you're midway through, is you can actually drag the sprites into your backpack and save them that way. Now, if you drag in the sprites inside of your project, just make sure that you go to your C project page and you add in some attribution. So for this particular one, we would say, thank you. We use the @ and then BootUp. So this will make it so we can actually click on the username for the sprites. And then you would include maybe a link to the Wind River Sprites project. So you can paste it into here at scratch.mit.edu, etc. Okay? So whenever you are using other people's assets, whenever you're using their sounds or their code or their sprites and their imagery, etc., just make sure you give notes and credits into here if you pull them into your backpack. All right, so that's how you can remix the Wind River Sprites remix project. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know something that you learned or created in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe, like, and check out the links in the description for even more free resources, such as videos, free lesson plans, and our podcast.